This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at the Odyssey Theater to see the off-Broadway hit, Freuds' Last Session. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Martyn Rayne. Well, I've been over from England for about 35 years and had a whole career here in America. Started in New York for 25 years and then bi-coastal, and now I'm sort of going back and forth.
And which character did you play tonight?
I played Freud in Freud's Last Session here at the Odyssey Theater. Freud, I think, is very flawed, and I think he's less popular than in his heyday, but a flawed character is very interesting to play because he's got, you can play those flaws and enjoy the colorfulness of them.
I love this performance. I thought it was fantastic. It was eye-opening. I love the way you played Freud, because Freud was actually a revolutionary. I wouldn't call him an intellectual as I would call him a revolutionary. He discovered things.
Very much so. And I think that not enough emphasis has been put on that since. And he actually spoke about that a lot. That was his way of presenting himself to the world. But, of course, we tend to iconize things, if that's the right verb. But, no, I agree with you.
I also like the interplay you had between the two, because first of all, nowadays if you talk about religion or science, you hear politicians sing, and it's just, I do not want to hear that, because it's all dogma, it's all filled with disrespect. I love the way it was two intellectual giants recognizing their intellect, developing a real bond with each other.
I think that's absolutely true, and I think that when Lewis first arrives, Freud thinks he's going to polish him off before lunch, but they're two great minds going at each other, and I think there are so many levels to play for an actor. There's their egos, there's the actual scholarly argument, there's the physical situation, there's so much to mine and look at that the fact that they become bonded is beautifully written in the play, I think, and there's so much to explore in the play. It's just phenomenal, really.
I also like the way that Freud was psychoanalyzing himself at the time. Not just Lewis, but himself, too.
Yes, very much so. He's got a lot of saving graces, even though I disagree with some of his theories. He's got a lot of saving graces. And I think Mark St. Germain has done a remarkable job of trying to in a way juggle several plates at once, and that is the drama, the all these words are things they actually wrote or said. So he was really trying to juggle all these different elements and make it a theatrical experience and so on. And I think it's quite amazing that he did that.
Yeah, also the emotion, because again, you're an actor. Again, as an actor, you're not supposed to act science, even though you can, but you communicate the emotion beautifully to the audience. The audience was silent the entire time. I couldn't believe it. I could hear people breathing.
Well, it's the sort of thing that I was just saying to my fellow actor Martyn, that when you get into the zone with something like this, you can tell. You sort of get this you hit a sweet spot, and you, the audience, and the two of you in the audience get into a synergy together, and great things happen, And I think that we've learned some of the tricks. We've got more to go, but we've learned some of the ways to do that. And that is what actors crave. I mean, it really is.
Once again, I love the performance. You were fantastic. Even, I would recommend this people who want to be intellectually stimulated, people who want to be entertained, people just want to see two people having an engaging conversation and really connecting with each other. I just thought it was beautiful.
I totally agree, and you know what? It's funny. And that's a saving grace. When you have talking heads and you think, oh, is this going to be a lot of talking? It's a lot of talking, but it's very witty, and it's very insightful, and it's very accessible. So I think that's why audiences come so readily.
Once again, I really love the performance. I loved your performance. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
I'm Martyn, Stanbridge. I'm British. I've been acting for a long time, and I'm here for... I've been in the US for about 18 months, newly married. I was texted through about this job. I said no initially, and then they kept saying, well, maybe you should think about it again. And I'm glad I did, and I've had a great journey with it. Yeah.
And which character did you play tonight?
I play C.S. Lewis tonight. C.S. Lewis, yeah. I think he's an incredibly intelligent man who has thought through his faith His arc is more interesting in a way than Freud, because Freud has stayed within his own confines of rationale and what he means, and C.S. Lewis has gone from atheism to actually finding something, and how he found it is through his own logic, through his own whole being, rather than just a concept. So he's experienced it. So he's had some sort of conversion, which is fascinating about a man. Yeah.
I love the performance. I thought you guys were fantastic. First of all, again, it was a very deep topic, talking basically about basically the existence of God, also the meaning of life,
yes,
and facing one's death, and actually, again, a lot of other things. I thought you guys did a fantastic story.
Yeah, well, it's questions that that we ask ourselves at times. We don't ask it again, but it's here with us all the time. And if we want to go into it, we can, but a lot of us don't. But there are some people, C.S. Lewis, that's what he believed. Why am I here? What's the purpose? And what are myths? What are these stories? Where do they come from? What's the unconscious? I don't think he didn't shy away from psychoanalysis at all, but he saw it for what it was, and it wasn't a religion.
I like not only the way how you played him so intellectual, because again he was a giant, but also how compassionate you were. I could just feel your connection with Freud.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter who you're against intellectually. He's a human being, and I think he saw Freud's limitations, but didn't necessarily disregard him for what he was. He was a huge intellect, and what he had to do. He understood about psychoanalysis, but saw it. This is C.S. Lewis. Saw it in its place, not as a be-all, end-all and be-all. But I think he understood Freud had to be pig-headed. He had to be an egoistic to bring that whole new area of science into consciousness.
Yeah, as an actor, I liked the way you played, because the interplay between the two characters, it was like watching two giants talk, but also two friends talk, two friends engage. It's such a charming conversation, such witty banter. It was just so entertaining.
Well, I think they admire each other, the characters. They respect each other, and I think that's the basis of it. They respect each other's pedigree. And they go with that.
I love the way you did, because nowadays if you talk about religion, it's usually by politicians or people in the media, and there's really I just don't want to hear that. But you guys, I just love the way you did it. I recommend this to my friends, anyone who wants to be intellectually stimulated, but also who actually wants to be moved by two people who actually develop a friendship, a bond with each other. I just love the way you guys played that.
Yeah, I think that's an important element of it, because they're both not 100% sure of where they stand, but they're both human. So I think the humanity comes through it, and they are, and he says right at the end, it's madness not to ask these questions. So they respect each other for that, and each other's position.
Yeah. Once again, I love your performance. I thought you're fantastic. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Okay, my pleasure. My pleasure.
Freud's last session will be playing at the Odyssey Theater from January 13th to March 4th. For more information, go to www.odysseytheater.com.